In the summer of 1976, the center of Nice was loud with tourists and summer heat, especially along Avenue Jean Médecin. Above ground, the city looked ordinary, but beneath it ran another Nice, maintenance tunnels and sewer galleries that most people never thought about. A small crew realized those underground routes passed close enough to a Société Générale branch to turn a fortress vault into something far more vulnerable. The job is most closely associated with Albert Spaggiari, a local figure later linked by investigators to the planning and organization. The target wasn't the public bank counters, it was the safe deposit vault, where private boxes held cash, jewelry, gold, and other valuables. That detail mattered. Safe deposit contents aren't always fully documented, which meant even after the robbery, no one could say with total confidence what was taken or what victims were willing to admit they had stored. The plan was simple in concept and brutal in execution. Don't fight the bank's security at the front door. Avoid it completely. Instead, come from below. Over roughly 2 months, as commonly reported, the crew worked through the sewer system and began digging a short but precise tunnel into the vault area, often described as about 8 meters long. That tunnel had to be accurate. Even a small error could have left them drilling into the wrong structure or forced them to break through layers that would cost time, create noise, or cause a collapse. Investigators later described an underground worksite atmosphere. The passage reinforced, wiring run for lights, and equipment staged so the team could operate for hours at a time. Accounts also describe the logistics as almost unreal. The crew is often reported to have moved around 30 acetylene cylinders for cutting torches through underground routes and to have used inflatable boats or rafts in parts of the sewer system. In other words, this wasn't a quick burglary. It was engineering, built around patience and routine. They chose their moment carefully. The long Bastille Day weekend in July 1976, often cited as the weekend of the 16th and 17th of July, when the bank would be closed and the streets above would be distracted by holiday pace. Once inside the vault area, the team worked methodically, opening box after box, not rushing, not panicking, selecting valuables instead of grabbing whatever was nearest. Different sources give different totals. Some talk about nearly 200 boxes. Other accounts describe hundreds, with one frequently repeated figure being 371 boxes opened. The estimate for the haul is also commonly reported at around 46 million francs. What they left behind turned the crime into folklore. Before escaping back into the sewers, the crew reportedly welded the vault door shut from the inside, delaying discovery and buying themselves extra time. And on the wall, they wrote the line that cemented the legend: sans armes, sans violence et sans haine. Without weapons, without violence, and without hate. It was a message designed to frame the robbery as clean, even as the scale of the theft shook the city. When employees returned and finally realized what had happened, the scene above ground turned chaotic. Customers and box holders rushed in, desperate to learn whether their number was among those opened. Police faced a problem that doesn't exist in a normal bank robbery. The victims' lists were incomplete, the values were uncertain, and even honest claims were hard to verify. The investigators eventually tightened around Spaggiari. He was arrested later in 1976. But the story's ending is almost as famous as the robbery itself. On the 10th March 1977, during court proceedings, Spaggiari escaped by leaping from a courthouse window and fleeing, reportedly onto a waiting motorcycle. He was never recaptured. Spaggiari remained a fugitive for the rest of his life and died in 1989, widely reported as from cancer, with much of the stolen wealth never definitively recovered. Decades later, the case returned to headlines when another criminal figure, Jacques Cassandri, publicly claimed involvement, leading to legal consequences centered not on the original robbery, too old to prosecute, but on money laundering and related issues tied to the proceeds. That's why the Nice sewer heist still feels different from most bank stories. It wasn't loud, it wasn't fast. It was a patient occupation of the underground, an operation built on time, engineering, and a city that never noticed what was happening beneath its feet.